First, I would like to commend the responsiveness of District 8 Executive Mike Kaiser and his team, who've been very helpful on a whole host of issues. It's greatly appreciated. And I can tell you that as a legislator, PennDOT complaints are at the very top of the list of the number of complaints that I receive. And of all of the concerns that are registered with me, few rise to the level of the Mount Rose Interchange project at Exit 18 along Interstate 83. The latest estimates indicate that this project will be 2 years past due. And we have a project just 14 miles south at the Shrewsbury Interchange, which was started after Mount Rose, and it now appears that it will be completed on time, if not sooner, and on budget. And so the difference, at least I believe, are the contractors. The Exit 4 Interchange project contract is with locally owned Kinsley Construction. The Mount Rose Interchange project is under contract with Cherry Hill out of Maryland. They won the project due to submitting the lowest bid. And I did some digging into Cherry Hill and their parent company, Tudor Perini. And Tudor Perini and the term change order scheming appear to be synonymous. I've read countless articles and reports on the company where they go in on the low bid and then submit additional cost overruns with lengthy project delays. In a California construction project, it said they inflated the price $626 million to $980 million in 2002. According to the article, Tudor Perini cost San Francisco government more than 40% above their initial bid for various projects. You can go across the country, you can find examples of Tudor Perini's change order scheming. A Wall Street Journal article last year highlighted a lawsuit between Tudor Perini and the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, dealing with cost overruns and delays over a bus station in Manhattan. Again, cost overruns and delays, their business model. So your department is now looking like it will head to court with this contract over fines submitted for each day that that contract is late. And as of this past November, the project is 2 years past due. I know that you testified to Senator Ward here today about the challenge we're facing, funding improvements to our interstates. You know, it's a challenge. And here we are looking at spending even more money after 2 years of delays. Our statute states that the bids go to the lowest responsible bidder. And I have to say I'd hardly classify Tudor Perini as responsible. So for my colleagues up here, who I will tell you I hope never have a construction project in their districts with Cherry Hill or Tudor Perini as the contractor, how can we safeguard against future PennDOT bids going to entities that specialize in change order scheming?
That's a great question. So when, actually this project keeps me up at nighttime. It's been a challenge.
Well, you can text me or call me or email me because I'm up worrying about the same thing.
I've been asked by so many people about this project, including the governor. That was the first question he asked me is, how are you going to fix this project? How are you going to fix the problems we are having? And it's embarrassing. It's really embarrassing. I mean, one thing I have to say, when we selected the contractor, it wasn't Tudor Perini. It was another contracting firm, right? And then Tudor Perini acquired this firm, and they took over this firm, and they took...
But when I read the whole history, and I've done more research on Tudor Perini and Cherry Hill than I ever cared to do, what I learned was that they were actually acquired by them almost 10 years ago. Mm. Okay. Is that not correct? I mean, I don't know.
I'll be glad to look into it. It was my understanding that Cherry Hill was selected for this project. They started actually mobilization on the job, and then maybe the acquisition happened before, but the paperwork or whatever was not in place. They came on board. Tudor Perini came on board.
When was the contract bid? Because, like I said, I don't believe this contract was bid in 2010.
No, it wasn't. It was, I think it was about 4 years ago. I'll be glad to look into the dates exactly. But having said that, you know, we have a process. There are ways to select the contractors in the states. It's based on the low bid. Cherry Hill at the time was selected. You know, even if the mother company was Tudor Perini, we had no idea, and you know, we had no idea about the performance of, when I say we, Department of Transportation, about the performance of Tudor Perini. Other places, You're absolutely right about Tutor Perini. I've worked with them in other states, New York, one of them, and some other places, and there are some concerns about the way they bid the project and the way they come after claims and, you know, make change orders, whatever. I don't want it to get into that part because we're under litigation right now with Tutor Perini. I think the situation got a little bit out of hand, and you know, we're into like 600 days of delay, whatever, and last I heard, and you probably heard that from Mike Kaiser, that they're coming in the month of March to present a new schedule on when they're going to complete the project, right? Although it's yet another schedule that they're going to present, you know, it's like, which one do you believe? But we're hoping, I can't give you a date, but I'm hoping that the project gets done by the end of this year, beginning of next year, the latest, the spring of 2021. As I mentioned, we're under litigation with them. We got to be careful on what kind of comments I make and what not. But I'm very concerned about, you know, the turnout with Tutor Perini. And I've actually asked our chief counsel about what are we going to do about this, because we wanted to send a message to the contracting industry, and with all due respect, because a lot of them are doing a great job and they're watching actually PennDOT on how they're going to deal with this situation, right? I mean, we wanted to make sure we take the right action with this contractor who's from out of state, is a mega contractor, really doesn't need a job like I-83. I mean, they bid on projects of 500-600 billion magnitude all over the country. Nevertheless, this project is important to us, very important to us. And we have to take proper measures here because it's important to the contracting industry as well.
And I appreciate that very, very much. And truly, I share your great concern. I would implore you to please get this done as soon as we possibly can, to the best of our ability. And truly would ask that no one else in Pennsylvania has to go through what we've gone through with this interchange, and that we look at how we define a responsible bidder.